moving on to the Midwest. First, we have number 1, Houston. They have 2 mascots, Shasta and Sasha, assuming some sort of cat. Not sure. They look tough. They have some pointy teeth, right? What do you think?
Yep, Cougars, they're tough. I think they are together. They're definitely in unison. You can tell they are a team. Do they have a little too much fun maybe as a team? They're not quite as tough looking as our friends, Marigold and the Bears of Baylor, but I do think they're stronger than some of the pairs we have seen.
And they are facing number 16, Northern Kentucky, Victor E. Viking. Amazing name.
Great.
What's your opinion on him?
First of all, that is maybe the best name in the whole thing. And it comes to people who don't name them, you got to go look at Victor E. Viking, where it's literally Victor, the letter E, and then Viking. His name is enough to make him, move along. But also, he's a tough son of a, because oh my gosh, his whole again, he has a mustache that takes up the majority of his face in a good way this time, and he's got a helmet, he's got armor, he's got beautiful hair, and he just looks like someone who all he does is like sit around and like train and lift, and like he's just ready for a fight whenever he needs to be. And I think he's gonna be a little too much for this cute. They seem like they're high school sweethearts, Shasta and Sasha. They're very cute. I just don't know if they have that anger that's been like kind of sitting in their soul like Victor E. Viking does.
Yeah, I think number 16 Northern Kentucky and Victor all the way to the next round.
And our first Viking. We love a good Viking.
Right. Okay, next up we have number 8 Iowa, Herky the Hawk versus number 9 Auburn, Aubie, another tiger.
Can we just say, first of all, lucky Herky is going up against Aubie. Herky, again, has one of those plastic heads that it might be a combo. Maybe he just has a plastic beak. But let's start with the beak anyways. It takes up the majority of his head. The people who created one Herky the Hawk appear to have never seen a bird's beak before, as they place some sort of row of teeth beneath his beak. And they're great. He looks like he goes to the dentist a lot, but it's, again, he's one of those mascots that they got the head, they even got the body this time, which is more than we've said for some of them. But they forgot his legs. It's just human legs, and that's tough. But the one thing this guy's got going for him is he's going against Aubie, the Auburn Tiger, and Aubie is, again, not a lover, not a fighter. He's got he's not a fighter. He might be a lover. I'm not even sure his head is in the right space to be either of those things. He's got his Einstein hair going, and I think he seems lucky if we remember to get him to the fight and he remembers to show up. So I think automatically Herky is going to be the winner for me.
Definitely. Poor Aubie. Out of all the tigers, he would be eaten alive. So, he's gone.
Sure.
He's gone.
He's barely surviving his own pack, let alone this one.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
So, number 8, Iowa, and Herky the Hawk, moving on. Next up, we have number 5, Miami, Sebastian. He's some sort of bird. Reminds me a lot of Donald Duck. Versus number 12, Drake and Spike. A real life, real bulldog.
Real bulldog. Sebastian, he seems great. He seems a little cuckoo. He's kind of gives off crazy grandpa energy. His eyebrows are full, but they haven't been brushed back ever. They go in front of his eyes, so perhaps that's some sort of seeing. That probably won't help him. He has some sort of funny hat on. I don't know if he works at a donut shop or something, but he has a little hat on that's cute. A good beak, not pointy. It's flipped up, so I can't imagine he's using that much. His arms appear to be open, so you can see into his human wrists, which is always disturbing, and I never want to look at that. And then, I mean, if you Google winner in the dictionary, I'm guessing it puts up a picture of Drake. And I'm talking about Drake this little spike bulldog. I'm not talking about Drake the rapper. He's a winner too, but this guy, He's got the accolades to prove it. In this picture I'm looking at, he's literally has a crown. He literally has a medal around his chest. If that's not enough to tell you he is a winner in life and going to continue to win, especially against Grandpa Sebastian, I don't know what will. Spike's my guy.
Yeah, Spike all the way. I mean, look at, and if you're watching the video version of the podcast, you'll have seen a picture of Spike, his tongue just hanging out, like, you know, he's got no care in the world because he's not worried about Sebastian at all.
Yep.
No issue for him.
If the breathing of a bulldog doesn't stop him, he's unstoppable.
Yeah. Okay, number 12, Drake and Spike are moving on. Okay, this one is going to be disappointing. Number 4, Indiana doesn't have a mascot because...
Sydney, flipping fart noises.
Loser.
Yeah, thank you.
It's just sad that the Big Ten has multiple schools with no mascot. That's something that has to change, and I'll be writing the Big Ten chairman, president about that soon.
That should be their first thing when the new commissioner steps in. That should, like, forced mascots on all the schools. Mm-hmm.
So automatically, since Indiana doesn't have a mascot, number 13, Kent State, and Flash the Golden Eagle are moving on. I don't mind Flash. Any opinions about him?
I think he's got beautiful feathers. The neck feathers specifically are quite nicely done, quite nicely feathered. He has a beak similar to that of one Iowa Hawkeye, where he somehow has dentures behind his beak, which I don't like, but maybe that'll help him. Maybe he'll be a herbivore, carnivore, magic bird, but he doesn't need any of that because Indiana is lame.
Yep. All right, moving on. Number 6, Iowa State has Cy the Cardinal. Doesn't really go with their Cyclones. I mean, his name fits, but they picked the Cardinal out of thin air. Against number 11.
Like a tornado.
Yep. Hey. Maybe. Number 11, Pitt, has just the Panther.
Beautiful green eyes. They're
pretty.
Powerful. They're beautiful. He has those mascots that they gave him a body, right? There's some that forget the body, but these guys have a body, but has no filling, no muscle definition, nothing. It's just a loose. It's like when you have one of those like Shar-Pei puppies and they haven't grown into their skin yet, so they just have skin everywhere. Which those aren't. That's not tough. This is like a better version of Penn State's, which we'll get to. So he's nice. His face looks tough. He looks like he has some good teeth that could kind of work some magic, but I just the kind of look that Cy the Cardinal gives, I think, is similar to Billy the Blue Jay, where they're kind of up to no good. They're a little cocky about it. He's gonna win, and maybe he even has the power of the Cyclones behind him, which that'll blow the Panther away. Again, no name.
Yeah, Cy the Cardinal all the way here. He has some really nice legs and feet also. I don't know, just sets him apart. Number 6, Iowa State, moving on.
Moving on.
Okay, this next one is funny. Number 3, Xavier, has the blue blob, which is just like a shag carpet on a ring, so he's rounded at the top. Plus, how do you even say that guy's name? He's a musketeer. He has a beautiful mustache and is dressed in full musketeer garb. They are facing number 14. Is it Kennesaw?
Yeah.
Kennesaw State, the Scrappy the Owl.
Yes, it's our second owl. Who would have thought? 2 owls in one. We'll start with Scrappy the Owl. He's a baller, dude. He's got cool shoes on. He has got a good color scheme going. He's got a lot of definition. The different colors of his face, really, they're beautiful. And he looks tough. He really, really does look tough. And I think in a lot of these matchups we've seen throughout this bracket, he would probably come out on top.
I agree.
I think this is one of those pairs where it's going to be too tough, in my opinion, to defeat both, right? You end up, he's facing against the one you would look at here for Xavier first and think, hey, warrior. He's a musketeer. He's got the feather in his hat. He's got the mustache and the goatee, and I assume probably some sort of weapon, some sort of sword that's already going to be hard for Scrappy to go against. And just when Scrappy thinks, you know, he's taken down the Knock Man, he's gonna out of nowhere get squished by the blob, right? The blue blob. You can't doubt the blue blob will come out of nowhere and absolutely ruin Scrappy.
100% Xavier and their two mascots moving on. Sorry, Scrappy. Okay, next one is I'm not gonna say all the things that I want to say, but number 7, Texas A&M has Rev, the First Lady of Aggieland, is a beautiful, beautiful border collie, like prettier than like a supermodel. Yeah, she's gorgeous. Yep. A real life border collie. They've had multiple, so she is like the next version of this mascot. Facing number 10, the most disappointing. Like, this is more disappointing than Indiana not having a mascot, in my opinion.
Penn State should have not had a mascot.
Yeah, I wish that they didn't. The Nittany Lion, he wears football gloves all the time. And who did we touch on earlier that also wears football gloves all the time?
Big Blue, where you were like, that's cool?
Yeah. This is the opposite. Not. This is like, take those off, it's embarrassing. Yeah. Yep.
Penn State is a very traditionalist school, right? So they haven't changed this man in what appears to be 100 years. He is straight off what a children's drawing might look like. He kind of gives me that vibe of like, you know, like as a kid, right, you grew up with like, you know, we have an iPad, you had like all your toys, like our house looks similar where it's like, you know, you have all the toys you want, and then like you'll go to your grandparents' house and then you find the stuffed animal that looks similar to this, and you're like, this is your mom's favorite toy, and you're like, this is her favorite toy. This is disturbing. He's definitely been through the wash a few times. Like he's got a couple teeth, so that might be slightly difficult. Again, you can see his wrists, but oh my gosh, no one in the history of the world is ever going to beat Rev X. She is the First Lady of Aggieland. No one's even going to lay a finger on her. She has her own army behind her, I would imagine.
Yeah,
I think
100%.
She probably has a lot of stands. I bet she has her own Instagram where no one's like there. You have to get through them before you can even come close to touching her. She's getting combed while you're battling everyone else, and she's going to win. She's beautiful.
Yeah, number 7, Texas A&M, moving on. Sorry, Penn State, not actually that sorry. Number 2, Texas, Hook'em, the cutest, I love him, versus number 15, Colgate, the Raider, who has potential, but they just went wrong.
They did too much. They went to the same school of thought as the Friar, where it was a 2-topping pizza and they can only get 2 colors, and so they just decided on white and red for every single piece of it. He is Lord Farquhar if he was red.
Yeah.
And he again is another one of those ones. Great. Like the jaw structure of him, he looks like he got one of those surgeries that you'll see like TMZ post of celebrities. Exactly. Exactly. And you feel bad because he actually had some sort of jaw surgery, some jaw issue allegedly. Probably is happening to this Raider here too, which Colgate, maybe it was some sort of teeth thing. He's the teeth guy.
Yeah.
But I mean, Hook'em, man. As much as I like saying horns down, as fun as that is to do, he's got great horns. He's going to use them to his advantage. He's handsome. He's big-chested, and he's got a little hat, and that's going to be a benefit to him because this is a good battle of hats.
That's what I was just going to say.
Hats. This is a fun battle.
But I feel like if Raider's hat got knocked off, he'd have a bald spot.
No, he definitely does. He has like George Costanza hair, but it's just red down. That's disturbing. Yeah. I don't want to think about that, so I want him out of my face. And I just like Hook'em. Yeah, Hook'em through. He's cute.
Number 2, Texas and Hook'em. Moving on to the next round, and that completes. What region was that? The Midwest.
Blue collar. The Midwest.
All right. Lastly, we'll be heading on to the West.